Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Super Cool Radio. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got two incredible guests joining me at this time. It's been over a year since I've interviewed them. Please welcome Joey and Christina of Kaleido.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
It's nice to have you guys back on. As I said, it's been over a year since I've seen you guys, so it's awesome to finally catch up and chat with you guys again.
Nice to be here.
Great
Thanks for
to
having
see
us.
ya.
So I feel very confident, and we'll see how this goes, but I feel confident this interview will not get interrupted by a train. That's just how I'm feeling.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Not unless one drives through our house.
I hope not.
That would be something, or my house too. I do live about a mile from train tracks. You just can't hear them, which is nice. So we'll see. I cannot guarantee I won't throw a clipboard though. We'll see how this interview goes.
What great memories, dude.
Actually, I have my gear down here after the festival, so I still have the clipboard.
It survived the train incident of 2022.
One, was it?
22.
Two,
Yeah.
It was the day that we released Run, right?
I think same week, I think, yeah.
Or was it the day after? No, it was the day after. I remember
it was the day after. Yeah, it was that Saturday.
Music Factory in Battle Creek. It was the day after we released it, so we played a show.
Joey's memory is way better
I remember
than
all
mine.
the shows. We did a show at Diesel in Michigan as well the night before that, so I remember that. That's what we were talking about. Was we just released a song, so fun facts.
So here we are, a year later, right after we released the song.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. That's why I did want to have you guys on, because you guys released a killer new single entitled Misery. Before we get to that, I have some more wacky questions real quick before we get to talking about Misery. So a new question I have been asking my guests this season: if you could have dinner with any two musicians, living or deceased, who would they be?
Ooh. You can start.
Each of us separately, or do we each pick one?
Individually, yes.
Okay. Wow.
I like how Joey just delegated that question just right away.
Well, you can do it first, and then you might say something I'm going to say, so you're kind of got it better going first.
Okay, here. Gosh. Okay. Well, you know what? Just as revenge for the fact that Joey put the ball in my court, I'm going to say Dave Grohl as one of them.
It's a good one.
Because I bet you that you were going to pick that. And let's see here. I'm going to say Axl Rose.
That's a good one. Two good ones. Two livings. Okay, so then if she did two livings, I'll do two not livings then. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin for sure. It's like one of my biggest influences of drums ever, and would just be crazy to talk to him and just hear him talk about anything would be wild. So him and probably Eddie Van Halen, another deceased legend.
You didn't pick Dave Grohl.
No, I mean, those are two guys that would be insane to talk to them, and they've left such a mark on the instrument. So those are my two choices, because you did two living, I did two not living. So
it balances out.
Balances out. That's what you got to do. It's a band, right?
There's still a chance for mine to come true.
There is.
That's right. Well, really great picks all around. Honestly, I asked a lot of difficult questions, as you know, because you guys have been on the show before, but I do appreciate you guys answering with some really great picks. I guess, for me, because I haven't answered this yet and I'm in the mood for it, Alice Cooper, Iggy Pop. Those are my two.
That'll be solid. They got the Detroit thing going on.
Nice.
Huh? Okay.
That's right. I finally got to see Iggy Pop live back in March, and that was something I didn't think was going to happen in my lifetime, and I'm so glad it happened.
That's rad. I love that.
All right, so now one more question that we're talking. Oh, wait. Nope, I don't know what my format is. I do have some more questions that we will get to Misery. So I know this is more specifically for Christina, but Joey can answer as well. So Christina, I know you're a huge fan of horror movies and horror movie franchises from my research. What is your favorite horror movie franchise?
Halloween.
That was easy, wasn't it?
That was so easy. I didn't. Unlike your last question, there was no thought
Yeah.
that needed to happen. I already knew the answer to that.
Very good. Well, I'm glad that was an easier question. Mine is the mug I have with me. That is Jason. That's my favorite.
Nice.
Mostly,
Which Friday the 13th lit? Which
obviously the first one is a classic, and I know 6 is not as good, but it has like 4 Alice Cooper songs in there, so I really enjoy 6.
nice answer. I love. Which one is that? I like Takes Manhattan. Jason Takes Manhattan, because it was like the worst
Right.
one growing up.
Yeah.
It was the worst to me. It was just awesome. That one's rad. 3 sweet.
Jason versus Freddy,
Freddy vs. Jason is my favorite.
or
ones.
Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah. And then fun fact, since it's your favorite franchise, I'll bestow this on you if you didn't know. Part 3 was the first film that actually has the mask. The mask, the one that's on your cup right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
now that you say that, yes, I had to think about it.
And it
but
was 3D because it was in the 80s, and that's when Jaws 3D. It was like the whole 3, but it's 3D. It's good marketing there, eh?
Sure. Alrighty. Last question. We talked about Misery. Actually, nope. We gotta talk about Ghost then Misery. I don't know. My whole format's messed up. I'm sorry. I can't read my own writing.
It's all right.
I messed up in the last interview. I was supposed to ask a question from our friend Lance Gilbert in the last interview, and I just totally forgot. So I'm sorry, Lance, but I will be asking 2 questions from him in this interview. So the first question I asked, again, more pertaining to Christina, but again, Joey, if you want to answer, you can. So since moving to Los Angeles, have you met or worked with any new talent since moving to LA?
Yes. We have met quite a few of our like idol-esque personalities. A couple of which include, you're going to love this one, Alice Cooper and Billy Joe from Green Day. And shortly before he passed away, Joey met Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah, that was wild.
And we have been recording and working on a lot of new music out here. So it's been a lot of fun. It's very productive, and I am really happy with all of the new environments that and how it has spurred our creativity in new ways.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I'm glad to hear you guys are, the move to LA was really great. You met some really awesome people. I like how almost every question Alice Cooper comes up. I love it. Was there really like culture shift moving from Michigan to LA?
No, I don't really think like anything too shocking. We've been coming out here working for many years, so we're used to it. We just didn't spend super extended amounts of time. Like we'd come for a couple of weeks or, a week. So just hear more now. But like culture shock wise, no.
I mean, it's different than Michigan, but like I said, we toured so much and we've always been around. It's not too crazy, but it's definitely different when you live somewhere and you kind of are like day to day. You're not just here for a little bit, so you start to see different things that you wouldn't notice if you're only coming to somewhere for like a day or a week or whatever, So, I mean, not like a shock, but it's different in great ways. The weather's really nice. I like it.
Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the weather. It has been raining most of this week here where I am at. So, yeah.
Not a lot of rain here.
No.
That's a nice thing, depending.
Yeah, at least you don't have to deal with snow, so that's pretty nice.
That's my favorite.
I, for one, am a huge fan of thunderstorms, though, so I wouldn't be that mad about it.
They're rad.
I wouldn't be mad about more of them.
Right, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them, but but I like Joey's comment. Thunderstorms are rad. I'm gonna use that in tagline now.
Hashtag thunderstorms are rad.
They are sometimes. I mean, not if you have to travel when it's happening. I mean, that's not fun. But
This
side and watch it happen. That's right.
That's been me most of the time this week. Like I've had to travel somewhere, and not just a short distance. Not like I'm going down the street or something. It's like I have to travel, and like there's a huge thunderstorm. I'm on the bypass trying to go like 70 miles an hour, 65.
You see anything?
Yep, exactly. And like people put their hazards on. It's not a good idea. Don't do that. Anyway, sorry. Before I get off into a tangent, that was me this week. Anyway,
Tangent, dude. You can tangent. It's okay.
I try not to. Even though this is my show, I can do whatever I want. I try not to. But focusing back on you guys, before we talk about the new single Misery, I did want to talk about the previous single, which was Ghosts, because you guys filmed a awesome looking music video for Ghosts, and the location, from what I've heard, has got some significance behind it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, by the way. We had a lot of fun filming that. And the location was in Altadena, California, and it is one of the houses that was used on the show American Horror Story.
Yeah. It's crazy. It was built in like the 1800s, and it's super haunted. You could
And
tell
it's like
super
legit haunted.
Yeah. The lady that runs it was telling us, and it was creepy, dude. Like, we were in there, shot all in one day. We started in the morning, but we finished at night, so it was basically pitch black when we were leaving, you know? And we had like left stuff upstairs, and there's no lights on, and like she turned the power off or something. So I don't know. I couldn't get any light switch on. I didn't have a flash. All I had was like my phone flashlight. And I was like, oh, gotta go get this fan from upstairs or whatever. And I was like, hey, Drew, like, go get that fan from upstairs or whatever. He's like, why don't you go get it? You know what I'm like? I'll go with you, I guess. So we went up there, and dude, it was creepy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know, but it was creepy. I'll tell you that. I can attest to that. So it was pretty creepy.
Right. Well, right on. I mean, so like just creepy vibes throughout the whole like house.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it is cool. Like the whole like the scenery and stuff, and like just the location for it. I mean, it matched Ghost like perfectly.
Yeah. Right.
It turned out just how we wanted it to. And we got to get some really incredible special effects makeup done. But because it was built in the 1800s, there was definitely no air conditioning in there, and it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So there was one small portable air conditioning unit that looked like it was the first air conditioning unit that was ever built. So that was in the kitchen where we had the makeup applied, but it was only shooting out about like this much of an area. And then we had to obviously go to other areas of the house to film. And so having all that makeup on, it was real hot and sweaty and real intense. And I was afraid that the makeup was going to just melt right off.
Mine did.
Mine stayed pretty well.
Mine did pretty much right away.
And then also we had special effects contacts in, and I had the only pair that you could actually see through. Although they were, white, they weren't fully opaque. The guys had fully opaque, full whiteout blind contacts. Like it was putting a white sheet on each of their eyeballs. So they had to be led around by people because they were like fully blind. So that was a really crazy experience for them as well. They got to experience what it feels like to be blind,
It was
and
intense.
then also have to perform on their instruments. It was, and then all that filming didn't happen at once, so they had to sit around for a while with those in.
Well, we had to put them in before we did the makeup because we couldn't even more backstory, which is ridiculous. Cody and I cannot put, Drew too, but mostly Cody and I had never put in contacts in our eyes. Like we don't know how to do that. I've never had to do that. So we did it for Run, and Christina had to put them in her eyes, and it was like a whole thing. Like it was like us just like clockwork oranging like our eyes, dude, and like just trying to put it in, and it just would not stay.
I'm a pro contact wearer.
So people were probably like, "What is happening?" We're like in that bar that we shot Run those sequences, and that's where we did it. And we were like in the bathroom, people like knocking on it, trying to get in there. We're just like, "Hold on," But so we did it for Run, but then this time we knew that was going to happen. So we're like, okay, we have to do this before we get the makeup. So that was why we were in them for like so long. So we had to wait for one person to get them in. I think I was like second, or I might have been first or something, because I had them in for like 3.5 hours, dude, just sitting there, and I really could not see anything. Like it was crazy. Like I was playing drums, just like I could pretty much see where everything, like feel where everything is, but it was just like the weirdest experience.
I wonder if there's some kind of like subconscious realization of the fact that I know you guys are so uncomfortable and hate those, and then somehow they just keep getting written into every music.
Yeah, right. They look cool.
I was going to ask about the context. I know, Joe, you mentioned that last time during the last interview.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah.
And then we did. I did it
again.
I did it. We did it again. I did it to him again.
So just every music video going forward, you guys are gonna wear contacts at some point.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Well, we didn't have to in Misery, so. But actually, I mentioned it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I got a thing for those special effects contacts, but
We use them.
didn't end up using it.
We'll give them a break.
So Joey, for you, like, was like how much of a different experience it was to try to like play drums but also not see anything?
It was weird. Like a lot. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times when you're playing your instrument, you get lost in it. You're not necessarily staring at it the whole time or whatever. But it's like drums like a bit different. Maybe on guitar you can kind of feel where you're going, but it's like there's like you have like a cymbal. Your stuff is like it was like a video, so I was using somebody else's drums. Like I didn't have like my stuff. I mean, I set them up pretty close to how I would, but just not like you can see out of your peripherals mostly when you're playing. Like I don't stare at them, but not having my peripherals or anything, it was odd. It was just guessing, kind of, I think I did pretty good the whole time. I only missed them like a couple of times, but I'm sure they didn't use that, whatever. But it was good. It was good enough to get it for the video, so all good.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Whatever.
All right, so we're not going to see a drum solo with the contacts in.
No, I don't think so. That'd be funny though, right? That'd be like a whole challenge. See if it's like how much worse it is. I'll do it once without the contacts and do it once with them. See how much worse it is than the first time.
That'd be a good TikTok.
That would be kind of funny, actually. I'd be interested in seeing that if somebody else did it.
Well, thanks, Matt. Good suggestion.
Good one, yeah.
Hey,
Next time we'll do that.
I'm looking for any excuse to make them wear contacts.
Next time we're on tour, dude, we'll do that. We'll have to get you at sound check, and we'll bring the contacts.
I'm in. Just let me know.
I would be interested in seeing that.
I would be too. That's why I suggested it.
Yeah, but you know what? You won't be seeing.
I won't be seeing.
Oh, yeah, you won't be seeing.
I won't be seeing the second one. That was a good one. Man, you guys are crushing. Funny jokes.
That's it. I don't just run a podcast. I come up with great ideas for people.
Legend.
All right. So now with that, with talking about Ghosts aside, now I do want to talk about the current single, which is Misery. It's available on all platforms. Plus, you got another killer music video for this single. So before we talk about the music video, how was it writing and recording Misery?
It was really awesome, really fast. It was our first time working with Thrasher, who co-wrote and produced the song with us. And we did it in one afternoon, right here in North Hollywood. And it was just, that's how some of the best songs happen, is the ones that happen really fast like that.
Yeah.
And that is how it went. And it's one of my favorite songs that we've ever written.
Yeah, it's wild. Just the way that one worked out, that was actually written before Ghosts and Run. Like we had that one already. We like the first day we met Thrasher, we like went in there and met him, and that just like happened. And we're like, whoa, like this is awesome. Like we love this. But just the way everything that worked out, we ended up doing those, and then this. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was like very quick and just like happened. Like it was awesome. Really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad it was a very quick process for you guys. And so how was it working with Thrasher? Is it for the new set of music, or have you worked with him before?
The first time was for Misery, but we worked with him on Ghosts. And then we're actually back in with him doing something else, possibly right now.
He's awesome. He's super talented. He's a really great guy, and it's a pleasure working with him.
It's really awesome.
No, right on. That is awesome to hear. I know he's worked with a lot of great bands as well, and I know dude's awesome. He's a very talented producer as well.
Very.
So I did want to talk about for Misery. Like, what is the message in Misery?
The message is escaping whatever is making you unhappy or miserable, and whether that be something relationship-wise, an addiction, or a battle that you're fighting in your own mind, that song is a release and an expression of getting away from that situation.
Oh no, for sure. I definitely picked up on a lot of that as well throughout the whole music video. It is, I think it's a little bit heavier topic compared, I think, to like Run or something like that. I think it's definitely very heavy. Definitely. But I really enjoyed it, and it's very catchy as well with the chorus.
Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
That song is powerful. It has reached a lot of people in its short lifespans so far out in the world. And I've heard some incredible feedback that makes me feel really good, because one of the main reasons why I write music is to not only use it as therapy for myself, but it's also to help others. And I have received some feedback since it's been out that it is striking a nerve with people and putting words to emotions that they have been unable to express themselves. And that's one of the biggest compliments that I can get when it comes to hearing how my song affects someone.
Oh no, for sure. Especially to have them, not be able to express the emotion, but you do it through the music. Definitely, it's a very powerful tool. That's how connect people, unite people, and help them dealing with whatever situation that they are going through. So I'm glad you got a lot of positive feedback from Misery.
It's a tough subject, and it's really extreme and intense. Especially shooting the music video was the craziest thing we've ever done.
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel that reining that power in and, manipulating it to deliver a message is part of our job. It's part of why we do music. So all good.
Oh no, for sure. And since you did mention about the music video, I did want to talk about it because with what I have to do, I listen to a lot of music. I watch a lot of music videos, and watching Misery, like I got goosebumps from it. You just feel it, and that doesn't happen to me too often when I watch music videos. So I thought it was very well done, and it just translates from the music to the visual very well.
Thank you very much.
So how was it filming it? Like how come up with the ideas for it? Put it all together. Like how was all that?
It was really fun planning it, because we got to work with two very talented individuals, Shepard Flash Lowry and Scott Kelly, and they helped us put the treatment together.
Yep.
And then from there we went to planning and choosing the places that we were going to film it at. But it was 120 degrees. I don't know well, we live in California, so it's hot most of the time. So Ghosts and that video for Misery were filmed in very, very hot conditions. It was appropriate for Misery because the song is called Misery, and it was pretty miserable. We were in the middle of the desert. So it was very intense, and it was really emotional filming it. It's funny because I didn't really have to act in that one. I was crying for real, and that song means so much to me, and I wrote those words from my heart. And as soon as I heard them played and they're saying action to get all these scenes, I just was what kind of waterworks were just flowing. Yep. And I felt it because it's based off of, true and real emotions and events. And it wasn't hard to go back there. I can go there all the time. I kind of have that tucked away in a box in the attic of my mind at all times anyway. So I was able to access that day, and I think it comes across.
Yeah. We never done anything like that before, really, just a full acting music video, with no band sequences or any kind of performance stuff. So that was kind of intimidating going into it. We had talked about it, or just all right, well, if we're going to do this, we just go for it. We never acted. I mean, only acting training or whatever, but it was just kind of, we've all been there before. We've all felt like that. Anyone can relate. So we just kind of tapped into that, and it was, I think it turned out really, really good. It definitely is a snapshot of those emotions, which is what we wanted to convey for that video. So we're definitely really happy with it. Yeah.
Oh no, the music video turned out amazing, and yeah, it's a lot of people kind of feel the emotions that are in the song and stuff, and I've connected with it, and it just showed you just really feel the emotion. Again, it really hit me, especially when I first watched it. Just because their emotions are so just there and in your face with what you guys are presenting.
Yeah.
So I will leave a link for that in the description of this podcast as well. Please check it out. It looked amazing. I do have one question because I'm a former mechanic and I always look at this stuff. Whose car did you use in the video?
It was a friend of a friend's car.
Yes, it was his.
And that's a famous car. It's been on billboards in Los Angeles, and usually he doesn't let anybody use that car, but he let us use that car. So shout out to Mark for letting us use that car.
Yep, and Valentino hooking it up as always. So that was great that we got to get that because I think that car really was cooler than just like rolling up in a little, Chevy Trax or whatever,
Hey,
I think it's. I'm just saying that's kind of, Christina has a Chevy Trax. I'm just saying it's a rad car, but like we need like something.
Yeah, it was sick, and it visually was like a great fit.
It was
for the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely. I'm always curious. That's why I asked, because I'm a car guy, so I was curious about that. But it matched it really well, and it looked awesome. It's a badass car.
It's a badass car.
Very good, fellas. I'm with it.
All right, so I do got just a few more things before we start wrapping up this interview. Always have a great time chatting with you guys. I appreciate you stopping by Super Cool Radio. So back to some fun questions as we were closing out this interview. Well, fun for me, I guess, because I get to ask these. But a question I've not asked you guys before. I've been starting to include this in my interviews lately. So if you recorded what you consider to be the most perfect single, but it was never released, would you be content knowing you recorded it, or would you want it released?
I would want it released.
Yeah, same, definitely. I mean, I'd still be content listening to it. I
have a couple of those right now.
Yeah, but I always want to release stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like sad that they're not released yet. I'm like, come on.
Because the thing is, you can like have something that you have done and you're like, man, like it means something to you. I can listen to it a million times. I love it. But you want to like let it go out and have a life. And because every time someone hears something, dude, it's like their brain relates it to something completely different, than you thought, I'm sure, or the same or whatever. But that's the beautiful thing is that it can be whatever it needs to be for somebody when they need it, So I would definitely want it to be out in the world.
Oh no, for sure. That's a lot of the people I interview and ask that question. They definitely want it released. Plus, for you guys, so like you said, Misery was recorded before Run and Ghost. I know Ghost was like end of last year, I want to say, and Run was sorry. Ghost was a while, yeah.
All blur.
Yeah, it is all blur. So how does it?
October of last year.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And then Run was in May of last year as well. Okay,
yeah.
so
And
there we go.
We have hundreds of songs, dude. They're not released yet. Like
that's what I was going.
We were like putting those together slowly over that time. So because once we can write something, but then once it's just like a demo or something, then we have to kind of bring it to life, record it, do all that. So it's like we're kind of working on all that stuff simultaneously as well as it's like, and then whenever it gets done first, we figure out how we want to release it and all that. So, yeah.
So, but the question was, how do you guys feel about, like, I mean, you have to wait, obviously for, multiple different reasons, you have to wait to release this. How does it feel like the anticipation of like waiting until it's released?
I hate it. I want to just put it out.
It is stressful, but it's also really exciting. And I think that anxiety of releasing something is a big reason why sometimes things don't get released or they just keep getting pushed back because it's not as easy as just releasing something.
Right.
Like that sounds really easy to do. There's so much that goes into that to make it a success, to make sure that it gets out to people. All of the marketing side of things. It's just so much besides just the actual release. And for me, I feel that these songs are like children to me. I feel like I, as the parent, as the creator of that song, have to do everything in my power to give that song the best opportunity out in the world. And so that weighs heavy on my shoulders as well. So I've turned over a new leaf, though. I'm done being scared and possessive of my babies, and now I'm sending them out into the world one after another. Now they're out of here, emptying the nest.
Got to do it.
But no, it is true. You don't just like put out a song because like if you don't have the proper marketing or the proper social media and stuff, like no one's going to see it, no one's going to hear it, and then it's a whole mess. Even like with what I do, I have to okay, this day's good for this, or whatever, or I gotta promote it somehow. And it's just there's a lot to do besides just doing what we see on camera or what we hear in a song.
Oh yeah,
there's so much stuff on the internet.
There is,
and it's easy to get lost in the highways and byways of the algorithms. So you do have to put thought into it nowadays. It's just how it is.
Exactly. That's why you got to come up with fun TikTok ideas as well.
Yes. Hey, I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. We come through.
He's not doing it.
I'll do it. The hardest part of the whole fucking thing is just going to be getting the contacts in my eyes.
He's not
Sorry, I don't know
put
if I was supposed to swear.
Contacts in there.
Dude, getting the contacts in my eyes will be the hardest part of that whole thing. The rest of it, cake, easy. But it might be like an hour trying to get them in there. This could possibly happen.
All right, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
All right, a few more things. One more question from Lance before we close out this interview.
Hi, Lance.
He wanted me to ask, do you have any tour plans in the works at this time?
Yes, we do.
We do.
That's all I'm saying about it.
Well, there you go, Lance. That's all we're going to get.
That's all you get.
I tried, Lance. I tried. That was also one of my questions. If he didn't say anything, I would have asked it too. All right. So last thing, and then we'll talk about the future plans for Kaleido, if you're at liberty to talk about anything. So I know you guys have been involved in the music industry for quite a long time. What is your advice for up and coming musicians?
Well,
be real.
Yeah,
be yourself.
Be true to what you want to do. Super easy to have a million people always telling you all the time, you should do this. You should do this. You look like this, so you should do this, or this will work for you. Or you have to want to do what you are doing. Like you have to feel it. It has to be real. It has to be authentic. So I think that is one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing, is just to do that so you truly believe in what you're doing. Because how can you sell something if you truly don't believe in what it is?
Buckle up and get ready for a really crazy ride with a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Heavy on the downs. Yeah. And you have to be resilient, and you have to be able to know that this is a business at the end of the day. So you need to look at yourself as a product and be thoughtful in how you execute the distribution of your product, which is yourself and your music. And just stay authentic, and because people can see if you're being real or not.
Definitely.
And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because if you really want to, you can. You are the one that decides that. You have to work really hard. You cannot give up. When you get disappointed, when somebody tells you that it sucks or they don't like it, or
it's always going to happen.
The trolls come for you. You can't let it get to you. You have to just keep on trucking. So get some tough, thick skin and write some really good songs, and enjoy the ride.
That's pretty good advice.
That's fantastic advice. That is amazing advice for music, or just really entertainment in general.
Life, geez, it's hard.
Life, yeah. Well, no, fantastic advice. Thank you so much. I know, a lot of stuff I do struggle with that a lot. Just like what you were talking about. So I mean, I really appreciate it. I know everyone watching and listening does as well. So last fun question before we close out this interview: is Cody still winning the competition of life? He said he said he did in the last interview. So I'm curious. He's
always winning. If you ask Cody, he will tell you, yes, he is.
That's what he said in the last interview. So I'm glad he's still winning.
He's always winning.
He stays winning.
Stays winning.
I'm glad to hear. All right. So close out this interview. What is the rest of this year, 2023 and early 2024, looking like for Kaleido?
Lots of new music.
Yes.
We are dropping songs like crazy. You can expect a new song from us around once every month. It's going to sometimes be like a week into the next month. Like it's always going to be around like every month. So
yeah,
not like
waits though.
Yeah, very constant releasing of music, tons of content, and I was about to say something that I'm not supposed to say.
Well,
and that's
we're doing,
No, I'm just kidding.
in 2024, we're doing Monsters of Rock Cruise. So that's going to be rad. We're doing that. And the rest of the stuff, I guess, I don't know if we're supposed to say anything yet. So.
Coming soon. But
Coming
lots
soon,
of
but we
content,
will be.
lots of music.
Yes.
Like we've been in the studio like crazy, getting all this music ready to release. And we're just going to be like firing one off every month. So get ready for new Kaleido. And I'm excited for the next year.
Yeah, me too. Really excited.
And stay posted on our social media because we have a lot of other things in the works yet. And I don't want to go into it yet. I want to give you guys some surprises. So
I agree.
I'm happy leaving you with that.
Me
You
too.
can look forward to a new song every month.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to more new music from you guys. And I heard you guys got some great plans in the works for other things as well. So I look forward to all of that for the end of this year and into next year. Plus, I hope to see you live at a show. I haven't seen you guys in over a year at a live show. So I hope that happens.
It's
I
about
hope
time.
About that time.
Good. I'm glad to hear. But I will leave some links for Kaleido in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them. Misery currently out right now. Check out the music video as well. But it's always a fantastic time chatting with you guys. I really appreciate it. And I just can't wait to see you guys in person again.
Same, man.
I know, miss you, dude.
Also, amazing hat and shirt combo. Didn't give you the compliment yet, which is ridiculous.
Can't wait to see you. Thank you for always being so supportive.
You're the best, man. Thank you so much. Really
And it's
appreciate it.
really great to see you today. Thank you for having us on again. We love Super Cool Radio.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys' support as with everything. And I don't know. I'm lost of words. I don't know how to say it, but just thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, dude. Thank you.
So for Joey and Christina of Kaleido, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
Stay frosty, bro.